In section 3.2, we're going to talk about skewness and these measures of center. So here we have some histograms that we made. And so we could kind of see the different shapes that we have here and symmetries among them. So we'll talk about this middle one first. And so this middle is what we call a normal distribution, and it's symmetrical. So if we were to kind of connect the tips of these bars here and make a nice curve here, we're going to have a nice curve that is symmetric, roughly symmetric, the same amount of bars on the right as it does on the left, and similar heights there. So something that looks like this is going to be what we call a normal distribution. Sometimes they refer to this as a bell curve. We could also have something that is skewed to the right. And so we call this a right-tailed. So there's a lot more values on the lower end towards the right. So it's going to drag on that tail a little bit. And you get that peak on the left. And likewise, we could have something that is skewed towards the left here. And again, you're going to have that tail on the left end. And then you have that kind of a peak on the right there. And so skewness affects the measures of center. If it's perfectly symmetric, a normal distribution, all three of those values will be exactly at the same place. And this is why we typically tend to favor a mean when we do calculations, because they'll all end up being the same for a normal distribution. However, once you start getting into a positive skew here, so going off towards the right there, the mean is attracted to that the most. So the mean will be influenced the most, then the median, and then the mode is least affected by that. Likewise, you could have something that's negatively skewed here, and the mean will get dragged towards it most, then the median, and then the mode. And typically an outlier will be in that tail end. So whenever we have outliers, the mean does not end up being the better measure of center. We have to refer to or use some of the other ones that'll give us a better estimate for that, for calculating that. And this is how they're affected. Again, so skewness, and then that symmetric distribution, which is really what we're going to be focusing on in later chapters.